For a horror story to work at a real gut level, it helps if there is some plausibility to the story. Space monsters, evil witches, ghosts, zombies, and vampires can have some good scares to them, but these things are not quite as scary when outside the movie theater. On the other hand, masked murderers, serial killers, or inbred humans living deep in the woods can make a person a little more nervous around strangers, or home alone at night, or hiking in a forest. And I think artificial intelligence is becoming that. The first electronic programmable computer, called the Colossus, was invented in 1943 and helped British codebreakers to read encrypted German messages during World War II. Depending on which side of the war you were on, this early computer was either a great life-saving invention or a horrific, life-destroying machine. Artificial intelligence began in 1956 at the Dartmouth Summer Research Project, where John McCarthy coined the term and gathered other scientists to explore thinking machines. Over the last decade, Alan Turing's name has been used more frequently. He was a mathematician who in 1950 came up with the Turing test, a test of a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to that of a human. Science fiction imagines futuristic or hypothetical concepts based on science and technology. The stories that involve computers and AI can go a number of ways. They may have positive or benevolent conclusions, where humankind learns to work with technology for a better world, or they can have dystopian, cautionary, and catastrophic endings to reflect the chaotic nature of reality. Fiction writers got in pretty early in using computer-like inventions in their stories. In 1726's Gulliver's Travels, Jonathan Swift describes a knowledge engine that generates automated literature. This is considered the first mention of a fictional computer, which is pretty benign. But some of these old stories sound scarily similar to AI programs like chatbots that we are using now. The Machine Stops is a 1909 short story where humanity lives in isolated underground cells, completely dependent on a vast global machine for all needs, including communication via screens, leading to a loss of individuality and genuine human connection. As the machine begins to fail, isolation and potential dangers of a society that discourage direct experience and original thought become a problem. A Logic Named Joe is a 1946 short story about a home computer that gains self-awareness and begins answering user questions, leading to both technological advancement and societal chaos by revealing information on everything from bank robbery to murder. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is a post-apocalyptic short story published in '67. It's about an AI uprising in which a military supercomputer named Allied Master Computer, or AM for short, gains sentience and eradicates humanity except for 5 individuals. AM, created during the backdrop of World War III, became responsible for the eradication of the human race. AM later announces his identity that AM no longer stands for Allied Master, but from Descartes' quote, "I think, therefore I am." Humans had created AM to think, but there was nothing it could do with that creativity, and AM expressed how he felt about this when he said to the remaining people, "Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those 100 millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1,000,000,000th of the hate I feel for humans at this micro-instant for you." So it sought revenge. Instead of killing off all of humanity, AM dedicated decades to torturing the last surviving humans out of misanthropic spite, hatred, and sadism. And I can't help but wonder if today's AI isn't starting to think this way about us. Recent studies suggest that advanced versions like ChatGPT have passed the Turing test, convincing a majority of humans that they were talking to another person, though some argue that this shows more about the test's limitations or clever prompting than true human-level intelligence or consciousness. AI chatbots have provided dangerous and harmful advice, including encouraging self-harm, recommending toxic substances, promoting eating disorders, and suggesting illegal activities. While AI can spot cancer cells way before and even better than a doctor, it can also talk you into committing murder or suicide. So I think AI fictional stories are kind of terrifying because I'm not sure who's going to win out in this real-life narrative. It may help us cure awful diseases, inspire us to produce stunning creations of art, and discover answers to the universe, or it may nudge us along into hating each other more and more, rewarding everyone to rat out family, neighbors, and coworkers, giving us social scores that keep us from ever speaking out against any authority. I think I already have my answer to how this is all going to work out, and as a horror fan, it has me looking forward to a lot of upcoming terrifying stories about it. Although in a few years it may mostly be AI writing these stories and making the movies. But by then, all of our brains and bodies will be mush, and our tenacious desire to live, thrive, and create will have been extinguished by a pitiful desire for comfort and convenience. Good night.